Hey, how's it going, everyone? James Harper here, agencyflare.com. I wanted to jump on screen really fast and talk about what our sales stack looks like at Agency Flare. The last few weeks, we've received some great questions and have had a few great conversations about the essential tools we use for our outbound sales campaigns. There's a huge list of tools that we use, but at its core, there's a few go-to essential tools that we put in almost every one of our campaigns that always tends to increase our performance. The thing I love about the sales industry is it's been around forever. It's hundreds of years old, but this industry has always seemed to evolve with the times. Technology has definitely been a leader in the sales realm. It's not one of those industries that's ever been left behind in the tech digital space. And we want to utilize that to our advantage. So whether you're a sales development rep, you're in biz dev, whether you're a closer, an account executive, it really doesn't matter. There's a few simple sales stack tools that you could implement as early as today that are low hanging fruit that will provide you more opportunities and really increase your overall prospecting and conversion rate. So we're just going to walk through a few things here when it comes to our sales stack that just makes a ton of sense for anybody in the sales realm to be implementing. Here, the first thing we want to focus on what we use to call. We like to use a tool called Ring Central. It's just really an industry standard software, very cost effective. If you're a sales manager, Ring Central is a wonderful tool to be using because you can really manage multiple reps under your call tree. You can see their dials. You can easily import the data and the information, and then you can record the calls. And that's really critical, especially if you're a sales manager, to be going over calls with your sales reps. And even for myself, to this day, if I'm making a cold call, 8 times out of 10, I want to be recording it because there's always something I can learn from previous calls that I can do better. It's just that simple. So Ring Central is the main tool we use at Agency Flare for all of our outbound sales campaigns. We're just big believers in the name brand. I believe they're the best, if not one of the best softwares out there for this. And all of our campaigns that have gone through Ring Central have just seemed to perform really well. Yes, we have callers here. We outsource a lot of our client calling through Ring Central, and the reporting's great. It's just spot on, and it's very simple. And simplicity, especially when you're running a business, especially when you're managing multiple reps, is key. So it's easy dials, recorded calls, and the nice thing about working with a name brand like Ring Central is it's going to integrate with almost any main CRM out there. Now, full disclosure here, guys, we have zero affiliation with any of these tools we're recommending outside of we're just happy clients and consumers of a lot of these softwares. So sales stack number 2 here, guys, is this is our main tool we use for our one-on-one cold email, keyword being one-on-one. I'll explain why in a minute. And that's Mixmax. Mixmax is a wonderful tool that integrates perfectly with Gmail and the G Suite apps just for email tracking, sequence outreach, and it's simple, easy, and effective. Going back to that simplicity factor, we're always trying to keep things simple here at Agency Flare, and I think every sales manager, I think every sales rep should simplify their life, and you should be using technology to accomplish that for you. So the reason we personally love Mixmax is, again, when we're following up with prospects, Mixmax gives us the intel that we need in terms of to analyze buyer signals. We all know that follow-up's key in sales, and we know that when a cold prospect is opening an email multiple times, downloading the PDF that we sent them, clicking on multiple links, what have you, they're showing us some sort of interest or buying signals, and it gives us appropriate timing on when and how to follow up with them. We don't use Mixmax for our massive cold outreach campaigns. We use various softwares there that we'll do in a different video, but Mixmax is what's connected to all of our Gmails, that's integrated perfectly with our G Suite. And this is the tool we use to really stay in touch with our prospects once we develop some sort of relationship with them. Plus, I love the calendar feature. It's right there. It does the job of like a Calendly, but it's really your all-in-one email sales follow-up. Our third tool here, guys, is one of my favorites. It's one that you're familiar with. Many of you guys are probably watching this on LinkedIn right now. Sales stack number 3 for a lot of our cold outreach, we use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. This isn't a surprise to any of you. Odds are you're probably very familiar with Sales Navigator. If you're connected with me on LinkedIn, it probably came through Sales Navigator, and Sales Navigator is just a hell of a tool. And I believe it's one of the reasons LinkedIn is as valuable as LinkedIn truly is. But the benefits here, it allows us to quickly profile a prospect right off the bat: job title, industry, demographic, location, gives us some intel on interests and pages they follow, which is great. The search feature within Sales Navigator is absolutely wonderful. If you're going out and prospecting 500 dentists across the western part of the United States, you can filter those searches very effectively and easily. And then, this is going to be your main tool for direct outreach. A few points I want to hit on here when it comes to direct outreach. We know when we're sending an in-mail, when we are sending some sort of sequence to a prospect, it's really important for them to see it. Sometimes people don't open emails and they completely delete them before they're ever opened. We know that people don't pick up the phones always, that we have to leave voicemails and they might not even listen to those. With LinkedIn, it's really freaking hard to get rid of a notification. One, it hits your inbox. Once you delete that from your inbox and you log on to LinkedIn, it notifies you that there's a message. You really have to go through a few different steps to get rid of the notification alone, which from our standpoint, a sales standpoint, is great because it gives us 2 or 3 opportunities to really get our message across and to make sure that our prospect sees exactly what we're trying to show them. So Sales Navigator, no surprise. Sales stack number 4 here, guys. This is what we close deals with. You guys have heard me talk about this in the past. We talk about the importance of increasing your proposal process and close rate, and that can be done when you're using a great proposal software. There's a few proposal softwares out there. We understand that. Quoters.io is a good one, but we're huge believers in betterproposals.io. At my former company, we used Better Proposals, and it increased our response rate on a proposal by nearly 10%, which was massive in the type of B2B selling space that we were using. Really clean design, again, simple and easy to use. I love the proposal tracking feature most of all. This allows us great intel, again, on when to follow up with a prospect after they've received critical, and let me repeat that, critical information. When we send a proposal, we need to know exactly when and how we should be following up. With proposal analytics and tracking, it gives us the intel we need. When I can see that a proposal has sat out there and hasn't been viewed, I know to be a little bit more aggressive and pushy with my follow-up to make sure that they actually read the proposal. When I see that they've opened the proposal 14, 15 times, and I know how long they've spent within the proposal, I know it's critical that I follow up in a different manner and ask if they have any questions. Ask what the timeline on their decision and next steps are. And when I see that they've spent 30 minutes on the investment pricing page versus 5 minutes on the strategy page, they might have some questions about pricing, and I can be better equipped and prepared to have these conversations with them once they've reviewed our strategy, product, service, but most of all, the price points. And also, guys, I love the fact that they can just sign, seal, deliver, and you can close the deal right through better proposals. So hell of a software, and I definitely recommend it to anyone. Guys, last but not least, agencyflare.com. As you guys know, our goal is to provide you with a monthly outbound sales newsletter. We're passionate about cold prospecting, about doing the dirty work in sales, about the chase. We're passionate about all of that. So go ahead, take action today, guys. Go to the website, sign up. We're not going to spam you. We're not going to try to sell you some BS course at the end of the day. Our goal literally is just to serve an industry that's been so serving and giving to us, which is the sales industry. And our specific focus is, yes, it's on overall sales, and we want to create action and close more deals, but we focus on the chase. We focus on the dirty work of sales, which is closing the meeting and taking prospects from cold to close. So agencyflare.com, definitely go there. We have a ton of great resources under our articles section. We have a podcast out there, and all the love and engagement so far has been great. Can't thank you guys enough. So anyways, agencyflare.com, like I said, and definitely don't feel shy to reach out like you guys have been these past few weeks, which is why we're having this conversation now. And look forward to following up with you guys next week. Happy prospecting.